Just gonna step to the side to make sure I'm not in the.
I can read this much.
See that?
I know. All right, we just gotta wait for the live stream. All right, we're live. All right. Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting of the town of Lenox. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, we can see everybody. That works.
Like it's going. People tonight.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna miss this meeting.
This would have been rough.
Yeah.
All right. If you please take a moment to sign in if you plan to speak and have not signed in yet, just so we have the accurate spelling of your name. The first item on the agenda tonight is in the introduction of a resolution to establish the Town of Lenox 2026 Comprehensive Plan Special Board and to schedule a public hearing regarding that comprehensive plan. As many of you know, the town has been working on updating our comprehensive plan, which I believe it was last updated in 1971. That's going to be fun. Which serves as a guiding document for future development, land use decisions, and long-term planning for the community. This resolution formally establishes the special board that will continue assisting with the development and review of the plan and schedules a public hearing for our next board meeting on April 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m., which will give residents an opportunity to review the draft plan and provide comments before the board considers adoption. This plan will be posted on our website along with the notice of public hearing by April 6th, 2026 for public review. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution appointing the board, special board.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Next on the agenda is the scheduling of a public hearing regarding property maintenance bids. Bid packets will be available beginning March 18th and may be picked up in the town clerk's office. At this time, I'll ask for a motion authorizing the town to go out for bids for property maintenance services with bids to be opened at the April town board meeting.
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Is there anyone signed up to address the board regarding an item on the agenda?
You signed up to talk.
Is it pertaining to the agenda? Any agenda items?
It's the property that I talked to.
So, right, so we'll do the general comment, that item 9, I think it is.
Okay.
Okay, but thank you, yes. Perfect. All right. Okay, next item is minutes from the February 9th, 2026 Town of Lenox board meeting, which have been distributed. Are there any corrections to those minutes? You still with us, Donnie?
Yes.
I would say there should be approved as read.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, the minutes will be submitted as presented. Following that is the minutes from our February 24th, 2026 Town of Lenox special board meeting, which have been distributed. Are there any corrections to those minutes?
Good.
All right, hearing none, the minutes will be submitted as presented. All right, next in your packet is item 5AI. This is a picture of a bus that went off the road. The town highway crew received recognition from the transportation director of MO BOCES and called the office to let us know that the highway department helped out this United City school bus. And they were really extremely generous and helpful and everything we'd hoped they'd be. So thank you. Make sure you thank. I know Zach was there. Anything you want to say about that?
It's all the credit. So,
Okay.
I may have showed up, but he definitely gets all the credit. Yeah, he got him out of there, so.
Yep, that was great. Positive thing to add to the start of my report. So thank you. The next item is a tax exemption update. We did have some inquiries regarding tax exemptions for the town of Lenox. And at our last special board meeting, I did bring up a topic that we would like to pursue, which is having our assessor prep a presentation for the board to present to the board by June to show us where we stand with tax exemptions in comparison to other municipalities in our area and the county, and the potential impacts that that would have on our taxpayers and tax base. And our goal is obviously to find a balance between caring for those who are elderly, disabled, or serve our community or country while also being mindful of all of our taxpayers. So Tom Cardinal, our assessor, will be putting together a presentation to kind of show us where we're at in comparison, and then break it down into what that could look like numbers wise for us, depending on which, if we adjust anything there. Town of Lenox Rail Trail, this is more for discussion. There was a resident inquiry, and if you look at these 5A3, there's two pictures here. There was a request to have that stoned portion on Galavati Place between the actual where the road stops and the rail trail paved due to a lot of people living over there in walkers or wheelchairs and wanting to be able to access it. And right now it's pretty rocky and bumpy. I did look it up. I talked to our codes guy, Jason, codes enforcer, and he did confirm that this is, if you see this first picture here, town of Lenox property for the most part. It looks like where the barricades are is where roughly we start. So I didn't know if that is something we could consider looking into further. And I just wanted to get your opinions on that.
We currently in the process of a second rail trail project,
Yes, we are.
and the same designer is handling that. I would have them add that to
That's what I was thinking.
the new project.
I actually will be attending the next meeting. I'll be at NISAC, but I believe I could step away to attend a meeting that's midday. I want to say it's on the 16th. It's on my calendar, and I have the Zoom link, so I will be attending and I can ask about that. So
Okay, yeah, they'll have to take a look at it and see if they can add that. And then the only other thing they're gonna have to add is probably a little bit different type of barricade system so that it's just wide enough for
no vehicles.
3 feet requirements, so that a wheelchair or 5 foot requirement could get through.
I will bring that up and see what we can do. I think it's a good idea. It's the only, and I also did look at the aerial maps. It's the only other point besides the ends, and obviously where we're extending that actually has a connection. So it's not like we're setting a precedent that we're going to pave every. This is the only one. So. Okay.
It's about a mile too roughly into it, so that's a good.
Right. I feel like it would make sense looking at it too. Thanks, Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next item on my report is the DDS row. So the town was approached, so was the village, regarding the right of way access. I did talk to our attorney, John Lange, and they were able to draw up a pretty comprehensive application followed by the actual permit. I took a lot of notes on this too, but it covers everything. Making sure we have prior notice, liability on them, proof of insurance, security deposit, even if we so choose. And this is to help out Madison County's effort for Empire Access, which would be available to our residents as a competitor to Spectrum. But that's all in the works. So they're a private contractor that is helping get the infrastructure where it needs to be in order for the county to do their end of the work. Just to explain that. So we were kind of, I want to say blindsided by that, but when I called up and talked to Reese Baskin, who's the contact there, I told him that our attorneys would be looking into this. So there's not only the permit itself, there's also an agreement, which kind of reiterates a lot of what's in the actual permit itself, protecting the town and our assets. I mean, every condition I could think of was in here. maybe they're missing something, but they're pretty comprehensive with this. It's a 30-day permit. They have to be in charge of traffic control. Making sure things are back to what they were or better in terms of property or roadways. And then the highway superintendent has to have give final approval that things are kosher and back to where they should be. So it really covered everything. The only piece that we need to determine is how much we'd like to charge, and we don't need to decide that right this second, but we do want to get this moving so we can get this back to the DDS contractors. And what's nice is now we have this established for any future, situations like this.
It's for the life of the facility, so what happens if you don't put some type of stipulation on it? And they decide they want to sell that conduit to another person, they can. So that's why we gotta make sure that we're protecting our interest.
Yeah, I think says something about that in here.
That we'll have,
Yeah, but we can look into this further. I just wanted to say that it was put together. We can make sure that it has everything we need, and we just need to come up with a permit price fee.
instead of paying $250 a month for your cable, you're gonna get it for $249.99.
I do have a note to talk tomorrow at the county to get more details, because I'll be at the board meeting tomorrow. Just to see what that really is gonna look like.
Isn't the station that's in the skate park, that's part of that county?
It's supposed to have been.
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work I know has gone into it, but I know it's been taking quite a long time. So they're getting pretty close from what I understand, but I can get more information on that. Okay.
Yep.
Ready to move on? Okay. The next item is the Great Swamp sent us a very nice thank you letter. Thank you for obviously keeping them in our annual budget this year. And as a side note, I know they're applying for a grant, so we were able to, on behalf of the board, I put together a letter of support for them for that. It's a really great opportunity to expand some of the areas that did you want to speak to that at all, Mike?
The grant that would give us another opportunity to hire another individual to work with us. So it would broaden our staff.
Yeah. So great opportunity there. So of course we support that. All right. Yeah.
You got
This
the resolution, we gotta do a roll call.
Which one was it?
Way.
Good catch. We're reversing.
Yeah, we gotta go back, cause we gotta do a roll call.
Which-
2A, it's the one for the comprehensive special board.
2A. Oh, roll call.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yep.
Counselor Bush.
This is for the comprehensive.
Yeah, we gotta do a roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Supervisor Samson,
Yes.
Counselor Hood,
Yes,
Counselor Whitmer.
Yes, Dick.
For the comprehensive plan, are you good with approving that? Okay. 2A.
sorry about that.
Yeah, no, good. We got to do it the right way. Thank you. All right, great. Swap. All right, next is the town clerk report. We brought in almost $1,200 this month. 34 certified copies, 26 dog licenses, and 5 building permits were among some of those. Fees collected and work done. Thanks, Jackie. Next is the court report.
You don't sell any assets to the landfill
No, because they wanted us to pay them in advance.
in advance. Okay.
Like 100 tickets to
Yeah.
advance.
You know,
Sure, I got
you get them at Congo.
know,
I think so. I think there's a sign that kind of you can buy them.
Right, are we good to move on to the court report? For Judge Palmer and Judge Finicaro. Pretty equal this month.
that's good or bad.
Okay, next is the Canastota Fire Department. Total calls this month were 27, 9 in the village, 8 in the town of Lenox, and 5 on the thruway. Mutual aid was given by the Canastota Fire Department to Wampsville, Chittenango. North Chittenango had 7 assists or mutual aids. City of Oneida 1, Sylvan Beach 5. And then they received mutual aid from Wampsville, Lincoln, Chittenango, City of Oneida, Sylvan Beach, and then other. So less than last month, but that's probably a good thing. Okay. Okay, the next is the Wampsville Fire Department. They had 15 calls total this month, 5 in town of Lenox, 1 in Canastota, and 1 in the city of Sherrill. I kind of skipped around. I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. We can go back. And our, I'm kind of, some of it's intentional, but our codes officer's on his way.
It's here.
Oh, he is here. Hey, I just saw it come through. I have like 5 text messages.
You have a report from them?
Yes, but I still need to go back. So zoning, planning, anything for zoning and planning.
No, for zoning, but planning, just, you know, the last meeting, they had a preliminary review of a solar farm. And not necessary to give the name out yet. They also had a review of a business, possible dog rescue, business that they had a review on. Both of them right now are currently on, being tabled, and one is incomplete. And then planning board this week is gonna be a site plan for it's like a small business for site plan, and somewhere in the Route 5 vicinity. So, you know, they're looking at, you know, small businesses coming in, which is a good sign. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about when part of the comprehensive plan that, growth was important to the community. So let's see if they take a look at these things, and hopefully they're approved as long as they follow the proper codes. You know, but that's what's currently in the works there.
Thank you. Doug, anything for Village of Canastota? I think you're the only representative. Nothing?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you. Village of Wampsville, Jerry, I know you had an item or two.
That's the tentative budget. No tax raise,
Great.
no increase. Funding that we usually do, and we'll adopt it next April. And, we passed a resolution to, move on with our septic pumping. We're gonna try and do every house in the village on a 4-year cycle, like 50 houses at a time. So we passed the resolution and the, funding in this budget to move forward with the project. We're working on the, bid package, and hopefully we get it in by, fall.
That's great. I know you're excited about that, so
Yeah.
congratulations, hopefully. Yeah,
4 or 5 years.
yeah.
You're able to get grant for that? Any grant money for that?
You know, they say there's nothing for septics. That's what I keep hearing. We had the B&L start the project to give us some sort of sense of order,
Right.
and, you know, it's all for sewer plants or clean water.
Yeah.
So,
Did you want to mention Canastota Housing Authority at all or speak
Yeah,
to that?
yeah, just so you guys know, I'm the chairperson of Canastota Housing Authority. federal government's looking to consolidate them with Oneida. Their fiscal year ends the October 1st. I'm not sure if it'll be that quick, but they're just consolidating small offices. And ours is a one-person office, so we're probably one of the first ones on the list. So it'll still be in operation. It'll just be with Oneida Housing Authority or Saratoga. Either or.
Whoa.
When we hear
Let's hope
more-
Oneida.
When we know more, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks, Sherry. Appreciate it. All right, so we did the fire department. I went backwards. Now we're back on track. Highway. So AJ has some information regarding truck proposals for us. I do have the latest he emailed. I don't know if that was at what, 3 o'clock? I don't know if you got that or not.
He literally just sent the financing part that you asked for.
Yeah, because I didn't see it.
Yes,
Okay.
literally. As I was.
Okay, thank goodness. So I was down here.
Got that for you. I got.
Yeah, please, thanks.
I don't know what you got for packets here.
The original,
So,
but if you want to just give us a summary,
so we have, this is a Viking. I only got a single one of them. These are, this is a Henderson body. The Henderson's a little bit more, but service wise, I feel as we're gonna get a better service. I also looked at Mac.
Okay.
yeah, this is new. He sent it
Oh.
today.
But
Well, you're good. Take your time. As is anything, right?
tried to get bids for Viking for an audio system and they sent me a chain, so. Last minute deal on Friday. Um, I only got one.
Yeah, that's okay.
If there's any
Um,
questions I can help anybody with and, I through, working at Sullivan and seeing the service between the different companies, I strongly believe we'll get a better service through Henderson and International. As everybody knows,
Terms
since
we went through.
November, we've been fighting for our parts for BMAC, and
I told him.
I had to go source outwards to get our part, so I finally got our part Friday, so hopefully that truck can go back together and we can have our fourth truck back up and running, so.
And Joe came out the other day, Jim.
Yep.
How do we say his last name?
I'm not even gonna try.
Roski.
Strauss, not too bad. He did come out and kind of went over the different types of trucks and the different chassis and, hey, look at me, see, I was listening. And then we talked a little bit about some different programs they have in place, but really, I think the need is to kind of come up with some type of plan over the next so many years.
This would
Obviously.
be a big start to getting a plan going
Replacement.
for
Yeah.
replacements, yeah.
So-
And, oops, sorry, go ahead.
So I know BMAC quoted off of the OGS or the
Yep.
county bid.
Yep,
Has Allegiance found
Right
OGS?
here.
They are found the county?
I got
Okay.
the,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
all.
Yeah.
And
Tried to come-
and he did send more stuff today, to be
Yeah.
fair, right before,
No,
so,
that's fine. I just want to make sure that you've got,
yep,
that
Yeah.
they're utilizing a already free bid.
yes,
That way we don't have to go through the process of.
right.
3, and- yeah,
Right, the push would be for this year because next year, all the truck manufacturers are switching their depth fluid systems. And it's gonna put a huge increase on trucks next year. And with new things, problems happen and
yeah, did stress that the builds are gonna go up 25 to 30,000 next year. If we can get in on a delayed build at the end of the year, it would get us in that price point without that additional increase.
So
They're changing emission systems, aren't they?
Right,
Yeah.
that's where it's coming from.
Yep.
the other concern that I have is we don't want to get in the same situation that we got last time. It was almost it was 4 years before, maybe 5 years before we took delivery.
Yep.
We gotta tie these people down that if we're gonna purchase a vehicle, it's gonna be ready for us in the fall. Because what happens is they get a chassis, and then the problem is that they buy the box outside,
Mhm.
and then you gotta wait for the people from the outside in.
Correct.
And, to me, waiting 4 or 5 years out, like we did this time, it's already 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
So, I want to see what we can do about making sure that we're saying, okay, we're gonna go through with this. We want to see this truck for this winter.
Right, which is gonna be the hard part.
Yeah.
No, they want to
You did
sell
say
it. Somebody's
24.
got one somewhere that they can sell us that's already ready to go. And
Yeah.
that's the issue I have with a lot of these companies now.
No, I agree.
How bad do you want to sell it?
Mhm.
We're ready to take delivery. We'll take it. We're not gonna take it 5 years from now.
Right.
And then we're in the same boat. We got a 5-year-old vehicle. And now you're out of emissions. Go.
So he did state, and Megan can weigh in on this, that the warranty does not start until
We take
delivery.
Yeah, you did reiterate that.
Um,
And I took a lot of notes when he did stop in.
We got a vehicle, so
He said
Need to replace-
24 to 30 months.
yeah, you're roughly 18 to
Yeah.
24
Yeah,
for, the standard body.
yeah.
And that's the biggest
And they
downfall.
don't use those in the upper part of the United States, and we don't have snow anywhere.
Glad someone knows something about this. Um, so I think, we need to look into, I was telling AJ, like, we really need to get a solid inventory of what we have, what current maintenance costs are, and start looking at like a 6-year replace. I did ask about, and AJ's looking into this too.
But to add,
Yes.
I was talking to Andy, I stopped in today and seen him for a few minutes, and he said with a Ford truck, main line, he said, replacement every 8 years, so in grand scheme of things, it'd be nice to order one every 2 years. But, obviously we gotta see where we're at to,
Right. To develop that.
yes,
I mean, after all you did just spend 6,000 on a truck too.
yes,
Right, the maintenance costs are becoming, and then you can recoup some of that money. I had him actually I had Jim break down depreciation costs and kind of what typical municipalities our size do. And I know AJ's reaching out to other
Yep.
municipalities to kind of say, hey, let's brainstorm. What do you do? What's your industry standard? The industry standard, he said, was like 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
7 is the sweet spot, but if 8 would get us that little bit more time to get 4 trucks turned over. So we're kind of in the early stages, but one would be getting 1 truck ordered and then coming up with a game plan and making sure we can do it feasibly.
it'd be nice to order and not have to wait so long.
Yeah.
right.
You got, put a time frame on it.
Yeah, I'll get on the phone with Jennifer tomorrow, or if you want, Corey. I prefer Jennifer, just because I know if I make a phone call, she's gonna answer. She's gonna be on top of it for us. That's huge to me, and when I got a hold of him about doing a quote, Jim come out, right from the truck with me. Jennifer come out, what do you want? Look at what we got personally now. And, if we go with her, she said she'd come right back out, measure everything, get everything, squared away to what we have and what will work for us. Obviously, deal with like barn, but
Great. All right. So we will,
Do it.
yeah, we'll look into that. And then, and also just as a side note, the last payment on the last purchase truck was just made. So there's some left in this year's fund, but then luckily we're done paying that truck.
That's payment made, but now we're paying maintenance.
Right. Yep.
Time to replace it.
Okay. Sewer, nothing for that right now. I did reach out to RCAP Solutions though about Robert Street. Just seeing if there's any other grants. They're the people that help us for free get the grants. So, they are right now trying to prioritize the water district and finishing up the one that we're currently doing. But, that is something that's on the radar, trying to get some extra funds there so we can move forward there eventually too. Okay, building and zoning. Jason is here. What was that? Yes.
we don't have that.
Really? I thought I printed them all off and gave you guys. Maybe I didn't. No, maybe did it get thrown in the back? I added so much after the fact. Shoot.
No, you can go through them.
What do you think? Well, I'll just go through.
Go through 'em.
First, before I get into this, actually, I want to update. I did meet with Stacy Maris, getting an update on a lot of the properties that are listed in this report since I started. Say sent to for attorney review on December of 2023. So the meeting I had kept it to 45 minutes, which is great. Stacy and I talked not only about the specific properties, but about the different pathways that, just so that I can fully understand the different pathways and speak to that we can tackle maintenance property violations and non-compliance. So I did put some notes together. I'm not sure how much you want me to speak on it, but the three main avenues that were discussed were obviously Justice Court, which is least expensive, and some of this is nothing new to you guys. Justice Court, which is least expensive, but it limits our enforcement. Supreme Court, which obviously is the most robust and protects the town the most, but it's also the most expensive. So one of the recommendations was that obviously bringing things to Justice Court versus, and I know Jason and I talked a lot of these violations get sent to the attorney and maybe we don't hear back, or they landed somewhere and nothing happened, or they come here on this report. But in reality, many of them, we should be able to trust Jason to take to court if they're property violations that are not being, after he's done his due diligence. So I kind of wanted to just speak to.
Can I speak to that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
A year ago, and actually maybe 2 years ago, we did set up a process. It was the 3-strike rule. And then they're supposed to be taken to court. So we shouldn't be having that conversation right now in regards to that. And we all, as a board, sat up here and all agreed to that. It's, we have to treat them all the same. And when we talked about this, no matter who it is, whether it's Westwood, whether it's him, anybody out in the audience, it's 3 strikes. 3 strikes, you're going to court. If you haven't paid it, you haven't taken care of it, you're going to court. That's the only way it's going to get handled. And we got to make sure we're doing it with everybody, and that'll end a lot of this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then, so I think we're all in agreement there. Jason, does that sound good?
Yeah, I guess the point of that conversation was that some of it is out of my hands. The point being, there's 5 properties on.
Right, which I'll.
The attorney in 2023 and 2024.
So I'm going to speak to that next. So first was just like general property violations. We're not, they're pretty straightforward. There's no gray area where we're worried about like legality and all of that. So the second piece is where we might look at something like summary abatement, which is probably one of the better routes for most of these properties, according to the attorneys. And what that looks like in more detail, just so we are all clear, is, I have it on the top of my head, but I want to make sure I say it right. The property owner receives a new notice regarding the violation. They are brought to the town board for a public hearing instead. Then the property owner has the opportunity to attend a public hearing with us, present their case, be represented by an attorney, which we'd also have ours here. After the hearing, the town board determines whether the property is in compliance, and if the property is found to remain in violation, the town board may issue an order requiring cleanup. They have 30 days. If they don't comply, then we clean up the property and levy it to their taxes. Right? So that, I feel like some of these people, we don't even know where the owners are. Some of them are owned maybe by banks. There's different, they're all a little bit different, but similar in the case that we're not gaining any traction and hearing back. So that would be the recommended next step to pursue. And I just wanted to hear what your thoughts are. And if we've tried this before, because obviously I'm new here.
We did last year. We had 4 that we were supposed to see. 1 was pulled without
That's
this
what I
town
thought.
board's knowledge.
Yep.
That we still have not yet to receive a, response as to how that one was pulled.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna expect that someday, but it works.
Yeah,
Those 3 cases that were there, we solved them. I think there was movement on all 3 of them. Right?
Yep.
So, maybe it's something on the ones that are out there, we get
Right.
them going soon and get them taken care of.
there are 5 on the top of the list, and I do know Tim Cowan, the fire marshal, also stopped to see me. I have some questions for the county in terms of reimbursement for certain demos, which is the next thing on my list. But are we okay with pursuing this as the next step for some of these properties here?
I am.
I think it's
So
makes sense. I mean,
You
gotta start.
then legal's gonna have to send them all a notification because that's the way it
Mhm.
has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't respond within a certain period of time, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I like it. Jason, does that sound good? We can work on next steps for these.
Now's the time to do it. The snow's gone. We might get a little more snow, but you don't want to do it December. Now, start doing it so we clean them
Yeah,
up this summer.
It'll be dry weather, they should be able to get in there and pick up.
Jason, I'm gonna get to your report. I just want to talk about a couple more things that will then make reading your report a little more clear, I think. So the properties I did get randomly, this just happened to come in this week, from Dankia Demolition out of Lawrence, New York. It looks like the previous supervisor had reached out, and I do remember this coming up at a meeting. But I did get 3 costs for the 2 properties on Whitelaw Road and one of the properties on Route 5, West Seneca Turnpike. Obviously, the cost on Route 5 is a bit more than the other 2. But this is the piece where I'm looking to see, I don't know if the county any longer does reimburse towns for demoing, but it's something I'm gonna ask.
You're talking on this one parcel, $70,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You want to put $70,000 worth of demolition on somebody's tax bill, are they gonna pay it?
right. And then Jason did bring up a good point too, then if you're trying to get someone to buy it and do something with it, now that's on you know what I'm saying?
The difference is the property owner does it versus a town does it. There's a big difference on getting rid of the asbestos
Yep.
in the private one. If
That's
it's
true.
done by the owner and not a business entity, they can do it.
A lot cheaper.
They can take it to the dump is what it
Been there,
is.
done that myself.
Didn't the county reimburse us in the past?
I believe so. And then in
Something?
talking to a couple people, it might have been squashed at some point due to funding, but I am gonna ask about that.
Well, I think we had a problem with one property, but they didn't they reimbursed us, but we had to go back again and they said they would not
Second
reimburse us.
time.
Right. But I'm pretty sure they reimburse us, but these prices are crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that
other quotes.
if we do get to this situation, we're definitely gonna have to this is gonna have to be put out for bid.
Oh, yeah,
Bid.
it's excessive a little. And then, what was I gonna say? We have other quotes.
A lot of money,
Yeah, there's a lot of money.
business opportunity.
Yeah. All right, so that is just speaking to some of those specific properties. And then Christine is looking into grants too for trying to find funding to help us clean up some of these properties that are just and not safe. Also, there's more, it's all written down. But the attorneys did say that Jason's gonna put together a current, like some pictures and current state of some of these properties because they could expedite and do some different things if it's a safety concern. But again, it all costs money. So. Right, Jason, had some notes here. There were 40 property maintenance violation notices in Lenox and 2 in Wampsville this month. Oh, no.
Yeah, but he's did property maintenance violation, but what happens after that? Do you follow through with them, Jason? What do you do with them? You just send them a violation letter and that's it, or what happens?
It's, some of them are cleaning up and there's progress. There's a handful I just sent to the attorney. I can tell you, some of them stall out, like there was a property we were discussing where I still have not heard anything from.
Now that is on here on
I
page,
asked that question in my report.
here, Tom, I actually have that highlighted for you.
Like they haven't been. So the next step would be to send it to the attorney's office, but I did want to check with you on that before I did it because we had spoke.
I'll go back to the statement I made earlier. Doesn't matter who it is. They need to all be treated the same. Regardless of what anybody here says. They are to be sent the violation notice. And you have all the authority because you're the codes enforcer. And we gave you that authority when we hired you.
And then I'm gonna,
Like 23, that's 3 years ago.
yeah, and so the majority of these that I have highlighted saying take to court are a lot of them that have been stagnant, and next steps would be summary, looking at summary abatement. So I want to just try to, Jason, we can talk about moving those forward and what that entails. And we do have an update here as to what's, and I'll make you all a copy for your packets, okay? As to what's currently in court. There look to be 5 different property owners. The last piece here was just to, Jason did write to us about, he did write it last month, but I had him put it back in just so we could make sure we addressed it while he was here. The building permits that are expired and kind of in hiatus from before his time. I did look up some information myself too, after talking to Jason. And then this way he can speak to it too. I'm just all over. I have too many papers today. This is the thickest packet I've ever seen. Where did I put it? Right here. Okay. So Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. We can't just close the building permits because it would be us saying that the job was, whatever was permitted, right, and written up was not, we're just saying, yep, it's good, it fits all the codes, and we'd be putting our stamp on it without actually seeing it. And it's really the property owner's responsibility to reach out to us and tell us, hey, come look at it. And if we just close it, we're saying we looked at it, we could be held liable, saying if we said, yep, that deck's great, but we never actually looked at it. So where his 2 options were that he was trying to explain were, he preferred this option was to wait until the next time they come in for a building permit and deny them until they close out the other one and say, okay, because he's reaching out to them. Right. The other one is you send the owner a letter and a final attempt to contact, because which he's been doing, but they're not responding. So that's the ones that are in hiatus. Am I correct still?
Yeah.
And then, and they'd have to go to, for an appearance ticket to court. And if we're, but it all,
So
it could get expensive, but
Close it out and do the final inspection too. Let me come up to the front.
yeah.
Maybe give an example of one I dealt with recently. Somebody had a septic permit issued in 2022. System got installed. They sold the house in 2023. And then I come across it. There's a new homeowner. I can't hold them responsible for it. I don't know where the old homeowner went. Thankfully, I knew who did the design of it, and I was able to call their office and get the documentation I needed to close it out. But some of these are difficult to close out. It's not that simple as just go do it. Especially I had one where it was a kitchen renovation. There was a third-party electrical inspection needed. And I can't just show up at the house and demand entrance. I have to schedule it with the homeowner. And they're questioning, why? I thought that was over years ago. Like, okay, I'm just trying to close up some paperwork. So it's not just a one and done thing to close them. It can take some effort, time. To give an example, I have an open demo permit in Wampsville where I can't get the owner to send me just a closeout letter on where the debris went. I've been asking for months. Not to pick on you, Jerry. It's not you, but.
I was like, geez, Jerry.
To go back to the one that you just mentioned about this electrical inspection, there's a couple flags there. Now you have somebody living in a house that doesn't have a CO for an electrical inspection. The house burns, people die. Who's responsible? The permits are good for a year. Okay, and maybe you say that it's up to them to schedule all these appointments, but you got software now, okay, that flags you and tells you that something's up and supposed to be sending letters out that something's coming up so that they can come up back and revisit, update the permit again, which they can do.
Yeah,
You can come back and get a permit every year for the same thing. You got to pay a fee to extend the permit, but that keeps it open that they haven't done it. It covers our end so that we can inspect it like we should be. And then the other issue is, think about that. Just think about it. You know, as a codes enforcement officer, that somebody's living in a property, okay, that has not been inspected for the electrical inspection, and somebody gets killed in that house in a fire, you're going to be in trouble. I can tell you that right now, because you had knowledge. And in order to protect you in the town, we got to come to an avenue to fix this stuff.
Yeah, I'm attempting to do that. All these permits, most of them were issued before I got here. This was like a long time before any software ever came up.
How many
And-
permits we talking?
I'm not sure how many are left in the drawer. I closed out probably 30 over the last few months.
So is there 100 or 50 or 2 or what?
There's
No?
probably another 30 left, I would guess, maybe potentially less. And like this was a kitchen renovation issued prior to me showing up. It's in the drawer. And when I called, I asked for the third-party electrical inspection, gave the spiel about closing the permits. And she sent me a receipt for the inspection. And it's like, no, I need a copy of the inspection. There was some back and forth with getting it. And then finally I did get it. And they did get everything done. It was okay. It did get inspected. They just never sent it to our office. And because of the constant flux of personnel over the length of time there, no one was reaching out asking them because they could barely keep the ball rolling that day, let alone picking up slack from behind when it was part-time help.
So why can't you reach out to those 30 people, tell them to either renew their permit or let you come and complete the inspection and it's done?
Yeah, I'm slowly trying to reach out to them, but I can't shut the office down to handle this stuff. Everything else coming in, like the planning board, ZBA, whatever, of the solar farm. Like I can't go, oh, I've got old building permits. I can't deal with the current. So when things slow down, I grab a few of the old ones, try and knock them out. I filter it in when I get free time. That's why you notice, like last year, up to the end of construction season, it wasn't old permits. But if you look through prior reports of prior months, once the construction season slowed down, the final inspections went up. Not that long ago, I was doing 25 in a month. This month I had 17.
So Jason, are you all okay? If he's getting someone that he's not getting any response from, are we okay with option 2, taking them for an appearance ticket?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have
Right,
to close
so
them out.
I feel like the theme of tonight is they're not responding, take them to court.
Yeah.
We agree.
They have to be closed out somehow. And if they're not responding, you take them to court, and if they don't, you close them out or you inspect them. That's all.
Yeah. And then another example I would give is there's a building permit on Route 13 for a barn, trying to close that down. I think we talked about that. It's not that simple as just contact them and close it. There's more to it.
It is when they get an appearance ticket. That's the difference. If they're not doing what's required for the permit, then it's simple. The appearance ticket, you're not following what the building permit and zoning law says that you're supposed to be doing. We're pulling your permit. Here's the ticket.
And that's what's in my last letter to that individual, is that if it's not completed by this time, we proceed with legal action. And I gave deadlines to wrap it up, and those are coming up fairly soon.
And we have a meeting this week too, hopefully to move that along. Okay. Anything else, Jason? All right, thank you. All right. One to court. Yeah.
Hey, one more thing. How are we doing using the software that we spent a lot of money
I've done it today.
on?
I'm in it regularly.
Every day, everything's on it? Up to date?
I'm in it regularly, yes.
Is everything in it up to date?
Still working on
All complaints that you've had since you've started here are on that system?
yeah, I believe they're all in it.
Every permit that you've issued,
Not every permit, no.
every maintenance,
The PM letters are in there. Okay.
every permit that you've issued,
There's been issues with the permits. I talked with Megan in detail about
everyone you've issued since we've had that software, is it in there?
the permits.
Everything that you've issued, is it in the software?
No, not everything.
That's what I wanted to know.
Some is, but not everything.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right. Next up is the fire marshal report. Total hours of inspection time this month were 20 hours. A lot of public assembly business going on. He did install 19 more smoke detectors and 100 more were ordered from Lowe's to get us back in shape,
Good.
which is great. They work with us. I think they'd give us just over 5% over cost. So it's a significant reduction in the cost of the smoke detectors, which is great.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
Is David here? Yeah.
Hi, David. How are you? Anything for us tonight?
I'm still working on historical markers.
Okay.
That's a long tedious process.
Yes.
And, working on probably about a total of 6 of them so far. And I'm coming close to the one for the lift bridge
Great.
in the village. So that's, these historical markers, they get pomeroy. They don't cost the municipality a cent. That's
Amazing.
great. If you had to pay for them, it'd be $2,000.
Wow.
And I'm working on a couple of books, so
Wow.
that's all I have.
Thank you. I saw you at the canal the other day as I was leaving. I didn't realize it was you, otherwise I would have stopped and scared you, but
I enjoyed it.
yeah. I had the baby with me, so I had to hit the road, but all right. Thank you, Dave. Sherry, just so you know, I do read your report. See all my notes? Anything for recreation?
Well, you guys obviously have the report.
Yeah.
We had about 94 bowlers, so we had about 75% capacity. We're gonna put the hours back an hour next year, just to see if it kind of fills it up more. Our GPM time slip was our most packed one, so we figured maybe later in the day, more success. Indoor walking ends this month. Craft fair, we are officially closed for vendors. We have over 50 vendors. That will be on Sunday, the 29th from 10 to 3. And then right after that, we are hosting a spring family dance. We're theming it now Sweet as Candy because I got a hold of Penny's Candy Company. And they're gonna do a candy bar with 10 different candies and then connect community. We were trying to get photo booths, but now they're gonna offer a cotton candy machine there too.
Sweet.
We'll also have a little back truck. That'll be from 5 to 7. Kids 5 and under are free. So more affordable for families, and then be $15. But that'll include the pizza, the drinks, the candy, all that type of good stuff. And then whenever the weather decides to stay nice, we are doing a softball skills and drills with the Booster Club. It's extremely similar to that of basketball, volleyball. The high school students are coming in, helping our youth, do skills and drills. We're planning on doing that down at the recreation park. That's obviously why we can't do an official date on it yet, just because we have to wait for the weather.
Yeah.
And then we are planning for the Easter egg hunts, which will be on Saturday, the 4th. Times being at 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30. We have probably just under 30 families so far registered. We take about 65 to 70 kids per time slot. We fill almost 4,000 eggs each year, so it's a big event. And then we're just approved partnering with the Great Swamp. We're gonna do 2 senior programs. Until at 10 a.m. We'll be picking that flyer up hopefully the next week or so. And then, yeah, our fourth organizations are starting, registrations are finishing up and they'll be starting up soon, so.
Woo. I wish I was a senior because I was like, the Pebble Glass project sounds really great. I'm not wishing that really. The project, yes, not the age.
And we are, sorry, this one, we are planning a 250th anniversary celebration of America. We met with the Legion and the VFW last week. And we're looking for businesses, organizations, individuals that are interested in helping out with that. The next meeting will be the 2nd at 5 p.m. at the Legion. Our plans so far to kind of take a lot of load off of, well, recreation, kind of revamping a lot of the summer events to be very patriotic themes. And then the carnival is moved up to the last weekend of July, so having that very patriotic American themes. And then on that Sunday, the Legion hosting a big event as well. What we want throughout the summer, different events to kind of like I did Canal last year, where it was, the whole year was including part of that celebration. But yeah, that'll be on April 2nd, 5 p.m. at the Legion for anyone that is interested.
Thanks for reminding me because Roseanne did bring that up. And she's gonna keep me updated along with Sherry on how that develops, that big celebration, how we can, play a part in that too. So thank you. Look forward to that. Okay. I think we're done with the reports. This is not going as fast as normal. So upcoming meetings, we do have our next Town of Lenox board meeting, April 13th, 2026, obviously, at 7 p.m. Moving on to new business, we do have a couple budget transfers. The next item under new business is approval of the December 2025 end of year budget transfers. You'll see that here. These transfers allow us to reconcile accounts and ensure that the 2025 budget closed out properly. Is there a motion to approve the December 2025 budget transfers as presented?
I'll make the motion to approve the budget transfers.
Second over here.
Um,
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to go on the record that this should have been done at the last week of December. It slipped through the cracks.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for acknowledging that. So we're making it right now. All right, the next item. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item for approval is the March 2026 budget transfers, just a couple, or just actually one. Is there a motion to approve the March 2026 budget transfer as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Okay. Getting into the nitty-gritty now. The next item is a resolution authorizing me, the supervisor, to execute an escrow agreement with Canastota Community Solar LLC for reimbursement of engineering and legal review fees related to the proposed commercial solar project. I do want to briefly just clarify that, especially for the public that's here tonight and visiting via Zoom, that this agreement does not approve the project. It's an escrow agreement that simply protects the town by ensuring that the applicant is responsible for reimbursing the town for engineering and legal review costs associated with evaluating the project. And it also establishes a framework that would require the applicant to enter into a pilot agreement should the project ultimately move forward. It's in no way an approval of that. It's just a part of the process to protect the town. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Right.
Is it roll call? Yeah, it is. You should look at that, huh? At least I have you here. Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Roll call.
Counselor Hood,
Yes.
Counselor Limmer. Vicky,
Yeah.
Counselor Bush,
Yes.
Supervisor Sayers.
Yes. Let me know if I need to do a roll call, so as I head into it.
Yeah.
Apparently didn't write any of those down this time. The next item is the reappointment of Steve Pulverenti to the Town of Lenox Assessment Board of Review for a 5-year term. I did talk to him over the phone. He's a willing participant. Is there a motion to approve the reappointment?
Make that motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We just,
Any discussion?
yep, I would just add that we need to correct, Jim Jones's address on this.
We have an updated one.
So that's done? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. The next item is the appointment of a Town of Lenox resident to represent Town of Lenox, Andy Pino, to the Village of Canastota Recreation Committee. Commission. I knew that wasn't right. Is there a motion to approve the appointment?
Andy Pino, right?
Andy Pino. I talked to him on the phone too. He's very excited. A second to that?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Mr. Pino. He's in. Told me I had to call him Andy and I said, I can't. All right. The next item on the agenda is the resignation of the town court clerk. I've received a letter of resignation from our court clerk effective April 2nd, 2026. On behalf of the town, we do want to thank her for her service. Says April, says the 3rd on here. Oh, I was told the 2nd. Correction, Jackie. The letter says 3rd. On behalf of the town, we thank her for her service and we will be working with the court and town clerk's office to determine next steps and ensure everything goes smoothly. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to accept the resignation. There's a second?
Second it.
All right. Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Making sure I know this one. All right. 8F. The next item on the agenda is a resolution designating the town board as lead agency for purposes of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, commonly referred to as a seeker, in relation to the development and adoption of the Town of Lenox 2026 Comprehensive Plan. As a part of the seeker process, the town must designate a lead agency to coordinate the environmental review of the proposed action. In this case, the town board would serve as the lead agency for that review. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the seeker resolution designating the town board as lead agency for the Town of Lenox 2026 Comprehensive Plan.
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed?
think this is roll call.
Is it again? Yeah, I told you I didn't look at it this time. I'm just rolling through.
Counselor Limmer. Vicky.
Roll call for comprehensive plan. Roll call. Yes, good.
Yes.
I thought you were saying yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And here.
Yes, that's all right.
Yes. That's to start
Yeah.
yelling at him.
I'm gonna start yelling.
You're like my wife.
This is recorded. Careful. You might not want to go home. All right. I'm assuming this one's gonna be roll call too. The next one's roll call. I knew that. All right, the next item is a resolution strongly urging immediate review of electric delivery charges demanding improved cost controls and transparency and authorizing formal complaints to the New York State Public Service Commission regarding the escalating cost of electricity. This resolution reflects growing concerns from residents and municipalities across the state regarding rapidly increasing delivery charges and the need for greater transparency and oversight. And to just give you some background, Jeremy Ryan, Village Administrator, sent over the one I'm sure you saw circulating on social media last month, right after our other board meeting. I did bring that to Madison County, to the chairman of the board and the county administrator, who were in full support to bring this to the county level also. So we'll be discussing this at our board meeting tomorrow. It already came. I'm vice chair of the Government Operations Committee, and we did review it there. So that should be going up tomorrow at the county, so that we have, and then that was sent out to all town supervisors, so we can have a cohesive voice when it comes to that and a cohesive message. So we are all going to NISAC next. There's 17 of us going to NISAC next week. Hopefully we run into some people and we can, you know, make our voices heard, because it's definitely a great concern, especially for our residents who just can't sustain that. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
I will make that motion.
And I will second that motion.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Roll call.
Yes.
It's been a long day. So who booked this after daylight savings time, by the way?
Counselor Wimmer.
Yes.
Shaggy.
Yes.
He's got to do this.
Counselor Hiller.
Yes.
Counselor Bush.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this one's gonna be roll call. I need to just not.
There's more fun.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. All right. Ooh, this is a big one. So just let me, just bear with me. So tonight, this next item, I'm asking the board to pass a resolution authorizing the town to pursue a truly rare and time-sensitive opportunity, the New York State DEC Open Space Conservation Grant. While we are in the very early stages of this process, the potential to secure a significant legacy for the town of Lenox is one we must be explored. The property is a place many of us know and love, a peninsula situated at the end of Lewis Point Road, a 17.93 acre lakefront gem. For years, our community has expressed a desire for a town park that provides direct access to Oneida Lake, a goal drafted as goal number 4 in our 2026 comprehensive plan, which is in the final stages of being formally approved. Currently, the property is not on the open market, nor are we working through a real estate agent. I've been in direct contact with the owner, who has indicated a willingness to hold the property off the market until February 15th of 2027, specifically to give the town this exclusive window to seek grant funding. We are currently working to finalize that understanding in writing, and I want to acknowledge the owner's cooperation and good faith in working with the town to explore this opportunity. This is not a project we're pursuing in isolation. We have the active partnership and support of Madison County and the Madison County Planning Department, who are assisting us with the complex application process. We're also working closely with the New York State DEC, who were actually originally the entity that flagged this property because of its critical importance for public access. A key priority will be maintaining the existing cooperative agreement with the DEC for winter access, ensuring that the longstanding tradition of ice fishing and snowmobiling at Lewis Point is preserved for the public. Furthermore, both the CNY Land Trust and Oneida Lake Association have expressed their strong support for this project, recognizing it as a vital step for conservation and water quality protection on the lake. I want to be very clear with the board and the public. Because the state's application deadline is April 15th of this year, we have to act with significant speed to even remain eligible for these funds. However, passing this resolution tonight does not mean every detail is set in stone. We would have loved to have more time to plan, but this is a very unique opportunity. So if we are fortunate enough to be awarded this no match grant for up to $3.5 million, that will be the beginning of a very careful and collaborative process. We intend to seek extensive community input to ensure that any future use of the land truly serves the residents of Lenox. I'm getting there. Primary goal is conservation and preservation, not intensive development. We're mindful of the concerns raised in past years regarding the expansion of this site. So by bringing this land under town stewardship, our objective is to maintain the property in its current state, preserving the 2,500 feet of shoreline and the existing park-like atmosphere, while perhaps adding permitted improvements to existing structures and improve safety considerations. Financially, we have a path to make this asset self-sustaining and ensure it does not become a burden on our taxpayers. While the property would come off the tax rolls, which could happen if someone else purchased it as well, just to put that out there. This keeps it in our control. We would explore the feasibility of maintaining a number of the existing seasonal campsites to generate the revenue needed for ongoing maintenance, insurance, and oversight. This evaluation would be part of an open, collaborative process with the community. Most importantly, I want to be firm. Our goal is conservation, and the town will not entertain adding new campsites. We also envision the pavilion becoming a unique community space for gatherings and local events. Lenox is in a uniquely strong position because our specific local goals in our own comprehensive plan and this specific property happen to align quite perfectly with the state's requirement for this grant. This is the first round, which typically means the requirements are a little more stringent, which means subsequent rounds are going to be a little more lax and more people will likely be competing for those funds. So our time to apply and have the best chance of getting awarded this grant is now. I ask for the board's support tonight to pass this resolution so we can protect Lewis Point and make it a place our community can enjoy and be proud of for generations to come. At this time, I will ask for a motion to adopt the resolution authoring the town of Lenox to apply for the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Open Space Conservation Grant for the potential acquisition and preservation of the Lewis Point property. But is this a roll call, not a motion? What would I? There's a motion, right? Because there's no roll call. I was right.
Motion and then roll call.
Okay. So is there a motion to adopt this resolution?
The no cost grant.
No match.
No.
Someone that I talked to, our attorney today, yelled on the phone out loud because he was so shocked.
Zero cost to the taxpayers.
Yeah, we had to, when this was brought to our attention, we had to look into it. So
Does everybody understand what we're doing?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Was that a long speech, but just
Out back here.
in a good way?
Yes.
Okay. I'd love, can I get a thumbs up or down from the crowd now? Is there a discussion, like, let's,
Yeah, after we do the motion.
Yeah,
we can
so-
discuss it.
didn't we?
No,
Motion,
I'll
make a motion.
They second it. So
Second.
Tom made it and Dick seconded.
All right, any discussion? Right. Can we do it after discussion?
Sure.
So I'd like to discuss first. Any,
You I believe Supervisor stated was that this is zero cost to the taxpayers. It is an opportunity that I don't think I'd ever saw in my lifetime, and probably never will see another opportunity like this to, make use of 2,500 foot of lakefront property that everybody can utilize, not just a select few. There's a great opportunity there. I think the other thing that's important is that we're going to be very transparent in this, and we're going to make sure that there's community involvement so that everybody knows along the way. Everybody talks about the tax dollars that's being taken off the tax roll. It's really minimal if you look up the tax map properties, which anybody can as public access. That's a minimal amount. So it really isn't putting much of a tax burden back to anybody. So that revenue should be easily recapped just in what we can use the property for. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think this board's all for it, and looking forward to spending some time with the community as we discuss how we're going to go forward with it.
and just to give a little more information, so that the application is due April 15th. I'm working very hard with the county to make sure that we are getting this, all the pieces, and our attorney to make sure we have everything we need moving forward. So we've done a lot of research so far, just in the last 6 weeks, which it's been really exciting. The timeline is looking like June, July, where they'll let us know if we've been awarded that. And that's when, if that does happen and come to fruition, that we will start having some type of committee or community input, whether it's a survey. We have we haven't had time to worry about that yet. We're trying to get the money. But that's in the forefront of our mind, and that would be our next big step if we get that award.
Question, Megan.
Yeah.
If you don't get the grant, then the whole thing's dead. You're not buying the property.
Correct.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's very clear with this board that there will be zero taxpayers' dollars spent on this piece of property.
We're working on some other logistics that are yet to be set in stone, but we'll share that out as we move forward and those are finalized. Okay. Ready for roll call?
Very good time.
Did you have them?
Roll call.
Yes.
Counselor Hood,
Yes.
Counselor Bush,
Yes.
Supervisor Fenton.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda is a resolution that actually is a part of this grant that we have to fast track a couple things here today to get it in for that April 15th deadline. So this is a resolution authorizing the completion of the short environmental assessment form, also known as the SEAF, SEAF, in connection with the town's application for the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Open Space Conservation Grant. As part of the application process, the town must accept the SEAF under the State Environment Quality Review Act. This resolution would authorize the completion of that form and grant permission for the supervisor to sign the necessary documents associated with the grant application. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing completion of the short environmental assessment form and permitting me, the supervisor, to sign the necessary documents for the New York State DEC Open Space Conservation Grant application. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Resolution of the town board, submittal of grant application. Okay, that's it. All right, so. I am supposed to read. No, just part 2. The impact assessment. All right. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? No. Actually, I'm going to tell you the answer is no to all of these, and then I'll read them out loud. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of land? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy, and if it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Will the proposed action impact existing public and private water supplies or public and private wastewater treatment utilities? Again, these are all no. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? Will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? And will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? Again, the answer is no to all of those. And that's the only part I have to read, and then I'll sign the other 2 pages, and then we're done. Okay. Okay. This next item is a resolution establishing a gender-based violence and workplace policy in accordance with New York State requirements. This is a part of, well, I might even say it here. This policy ensures the town remains compliant with state law and provides protections and resources for employees who may be affected by gender-based violence. It's now a requirement for municipalities when applying for New York State grants. Therefore, we have this policy we're putting forth today. And this is something fairly new. The county's actually doing the same thing this week. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Big motion to approve the resolution.
Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then the is it? Let's see it. Oh yeah. All right, roll call.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Almost got me on that. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, not too bad. Right. Next is approval of bills. May I have a motion to approve the bills in the total amount presented?
Yeah, motion. Move the bill.
Oh. He heard it. All right, get a second. Oh yeah, I did skip right over that. I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
I would have realized in 2 seconds. I'm just like, I was like, where's my next words? All right, any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're going back to item number 9, public comment.
Well, I was trying to find out more about, and I spoke with.
Oh, can you state your name? We know your
Oh,
name.
sorry, this is
Yeah.
Tony Gilbody.
Thank you.
Yep, and.
You told me I have to do that.
For this property, things that we were just talking about, I don't want to just keep dragging it out, so if you've already done some more work with him on the, with all the divine, with all the continually adding more and more and more things over there, I know I started this whole process out in May of last year. I did a couple different emails, and I came to this meeting, November maybe of last year. And I don't see a lot of resolution, and he just seems defiant, where he just keeps bringing more stuff in. And Friday, I went through there when I was coming back from my farm, and there was more stuff, and kind of lost it. I went and saw Jason, and to see where we stand on this, it just seems like nothing's getting done. So I know Jason, and Jason, I don't mean to, like, I didn't go behind your back, or I didn't not believe what you told me, but you told me something about the Madison County had to do some interpretation on whether it's a farm or not. So I just wanted to let them know what was really going on there. And so if there was any kind of input anybody was allowed to put into that. And so Karen called the clerk at Madison County, and what did they say?
They said it's not their decision. It's our zoning board that would decide if this went over to agricultural. They said if something was submitted to the county, they can put in their 2 cents. But it is your zoning board that would decide if that property went over to agricultural. But like if you drive down there now, he has 3
more stuff.
tractor trailer tractors sitting in front of that property,
Way in the back.
right on North Main Street.
Right on the
Yeah, but
front,
way in the back.
No,
Yeah,
right in the front. He's got 3 tractor trailer tractors sitting right up
Yeah,
at the.
I actually gonna mention.
Look to the back of it.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he
know
talks
that.
about a farm, and that's just a ruse. There's no farm there.
It's just.
He's got, school buses, tractor trailers, vehicles.
No
He just
place.
bought more stuff in, and he plows it so we can get more stuff in the back during the winter, but nothing leaves. And so, I mean, it's just, and I'll tell you, I go hunting every once in a while, down the muck way back, and I'll see old vehicles back there, 30s, 40s. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're like stuck way in the back of the muck somewhere, and they're pretty well preserved, right? So 100 years from now, what is that gonna
Oh, they'll
be?
be there.
Gonna still be there.
Megan, if you go down North Main, if you go.
Yeah.
past-
I don't
No,
make
Megan,
Yeah.
if you go past the treatment plant, you go right outside the village limit,
I know where, yeah.
Yeah,
that yellow house, and then skip a piece of property.
I did do a drive around the last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't been down there recently.
Yeah.
Jason, is there anything else you can just say? I know you did talk to Tony.
Yeah.
Just to bring us back up to speed, if there's been any movement or where we're at, and if this falls into any of those categories that we were talking about earlier with bringing things to court. But I know we talked about this a while back.
Cited.
Yeah, with in some hiatus with some zoning.
My understanding was, Tom, I think you're familiar with, when I approach farmers, they will say I have ag and market protection. You can't comment on that. I'm not just a residential property. And this is something I've reached out to the attorney about. We need to define how that works out. And my understanding was that, for ag and market protection, they apply to the Madison County Planning Board. They're supposed to apply before the end of October. And then in the following upcoming year, right about now, February, March, some kind of a decision comes out. My understanding was the town supervisors there somehow reviewed it, and I'm not present there, but that was my understanding. So all of this was to find out, do they have ag and market protection or not? And if they do have ag and market protection, then that'll tell them what can they keep here and what can they not.
Okay.
But you shouldn't you be able to look up to see if that is already zoned agricultural?
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between being zoned agricultural and having ag and market protection.
So you can have ag and market protection on a residential property?
No, there's certain requirements.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is you're saying that they have to go to the county planning board. But then when you called the county, they said, we don't need to do that.
Well, not if it's gonna get zoned agricultural, or maybe the county misunderstood.
Yeah, I can ask.
Ag and market protection. I don't know anything about that. I didn't know that that's what he was going
Okay.
for. I thought he was going for like agricultural zoning.
Point-
Right.
Understanding with the ag and market protection is they're looking for certain indicators that you are actually a farmer. Point being, I live in Madison County, I own property, I grow vegetables, I have a
Right.
garden, I'm not a farmer.
Right,
But if I'm, just because I'm growing vegetables, maybe I could claim, well, I'm a farmer, go away.
right.
This is where they provide that defining line between you're a farmer or maybe you just got a big garden.
But can we put a word in with, I mean, if the county is the one that decides that they get this quote unquote protection. Yeah, are we informing the county exactly of what is going on that property? I mean, if this guy just goes and says, hey, I grow a small thing of corn in my back, I should be a farmer.
Yeah.
And the county doesn't know that this place is turned into a junkyard. I'm sure the county doesn't go around and drive to all these properties.
No, my understanding is, again, they're looking for certain check marks, like how much are you selling per year? Can you show business receipts for that kind of stuff? Also, they review aerial imagery of it. I can tell you in my office,
Yeah.
I have access to a website with aerial imagery
So income
every other
based.
year from
Yeah.
2024 to 2006.
And each one
And
of
there
them.
should be a new one coming out this
Right.
spring, summer.
You're not.
Again,
all one
updated
piece.
imagery. It's typically every other year.
Yeah,
So I know
Each
they
one of
review
them,
that,
yeah,
and even
different
just because they get ag and market protection,
You
doesn't mean
shouldn't
it's free
qualify.
range.
right,
Again, you can have a pile of tires on the property because farmers use those to weigh things down.
right,
But if they had a pile of broken bicycles, well, that's not farm equipment.
right, right.
But you're saying right now the owner's defense is that they're in the process of doing this.
Well, they told me, when I contacted them last year, I said, okay, you need to apply in October. And then whatever comes down from Madison County or New York, whoever's making the final decision in February, March, meaning right about now, that's the final decision.
Okay.
And whatever it is, it's not my decision. Someone above me is making it. And I mean, theoretically, because they didn't have it, I could have just said, clean it up and we'll go to court. Or if not, we'll go to court. Well, what if they do then get ag and market protection? Now it looks like I'm being overly aggressive against farmers. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Go apply for ag and market protection. If it's legit, they'll give it to you. If it's not, then we'll find out it's not.
Do we have any way of finding out if they even applied?
I talked to the county Halloween-ish last year and was told that they sent everything in. They told me that. I don't know where it went.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach back out to the planning department at some point. And again, that's what I was told was if a property wants ag and market protection, go to the Madison County Planning Board and they will walk you through it. And I don't know who else you might be talking to. I've never done it. but
Right, I
That's
know.
where they go.
Well, and I think the clerk may have misunderstood me compared to talking about changing the zoning compared to the ag and market protection. That's obviously two separate things. So, like I said, I just wanted to make sure the county was informed before they make this decision about what is actually going on in that property.
Yeah.
Like I said, we all know the county's not driving around and looking at all these properties. Whether he can fudge together that he's been selling some stuff or not to qualify, I don't know. We just want to make sure the county is informed of what this property looks like and how much crack is on that property.
Yeah, like I was told, usually February, March, so very soon that should be coming out. And even if it does go in their favor with ag and market, I have never seen farm equipment that was a red sports car.
No.
Or tractor.
Yeah.
So
So this is just like with, and then once, let's say that they were granted this, we still could say, okay, but that's not farm equipment.
yeah, if it's not farm
But
equipment,
right now, because they're in this process. Right, so what I'll do is I'm at
Let-
the,
county, see what you're looking
Yeah.
at, because if I start interfering, then I'm changing
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
scenario.
Yep.
Let Madison County
Makes
look at what they're doing.
Yep.
And tell them,
Good
look at the
point.
property.
yeah,
Check out.
yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna, I
Have
have 3 things and that's one.
criteria.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask,
And
email you guys back with what I find out.
I'm not sure. All I know is they apply to the county planning board and there's some kind
Yeah.
of process.
You gotta file one on
Someone,
every parcel.
last thing I knew, the
You can't do one
supervisor ran
parcel
out
and say this
of
ag.
communities.
Okay,
But I.
Check it out.
yeah, I will.
He does not qualify.
They're all
I'll say
strip
that
lots.
right now.
They're all strip lots, right? All down through.
Each field is going.
Okay.
You gotta have
So
one.
I will, when I'm at the county tomorrow for the board
Can't
meeting,
come all together.
I'll follow up after and at least find out who can give me that information and then I'll email you guys back. And then we can talk about it at the next board meeting too, just for the public, but that way we can all have a clear understanding of what it entails and what next steps would be in timeline and all that.
Pretty sure that there's a criteria where you have to sell, have such an income from agricultural commodities, not selling tractors and selling
Mhm.
parts,
Right,
actually growing.
coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Like the process.
all right.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
anything else?
All right, anything else on that topic?
And that topic?
Yeah. Or any other topic?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah,
I just want to publicly say that I was very reluctant when you took this position, openly reluctant, right? And I have heard nothing but positive feedback about you. And
thank you.
me personally, I find you hardworking and organized and very, very prepared for everything. And
Thank you.
guys will never tell you when they're wrong, so.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that.
And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot. All right. Okay. All right. The next item on the agenda is executive session. Is there a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the proposed acquisition of real property where publicity would substantially affect the value thereof and personnel matters relating to particular persons?
Make that motion.
Yeah. Second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. All right. Thank you all. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's still 60.
Hey, Meg. Okay. Ours one.